listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We are back, finally, after a short little break for anniversaries and trips, and two separate trips to the Sunshine State from both of us. But we've got Money in the Bank to break down, as well as some Raw aftermath to talk about. And as always, my co-host, the co-pilot of the Scoop Slam Podcast, otherwise known as Mr. Slam, it's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, back better than ever, recharged, ready to go.
It always helps to take a little break away from the wrestling, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little sabbatical. Yeah, a little sabbatical ain't never hurt nobody, especially when we're getting overloaded with all these hours of professional wrestling.
And ads and travel blogs.
A lot of travel vlogs, yeah. 4-hour weekly shows at this point.
Oh God! From what feels like from both companies.
Oh yeah, there you go.
But yeah, when we were, both on vacation, or well, yeah, we were both on vacation.
Yeah, on vacation.
I did not watch a lick. I was not I tried to really stay off my phone to not get spoiled on the Money in the Bank stuff. I ended up getting spoiled, but yeah, man, I was like, I don't want to think about it. Like, I love it, man. Obviously, we got the podcast, we talk about it, but sometimes too much of anything is a bad thing. And recently, and it's not slowing down because we've got, Night of Champions coming up.
We got Evolution. We got Great American Bash.
Saturday night's main event.
Then for AEW, we got All In.
Yeah. And Forbidden Door, right?
Oh, yeah, Forbidden Doors before that, yeah. Is that in Toronto? That's in Toronto.
Oh, I thought it was in the UK.
No. Is it? No.
I thought it was.
Forbidden Door? No,
yeah, because I thought...
in UK. Okay, yeah, you might be right. Well, where the heck are they going for? Is it Grand Slam? No, they're in Mexico for Grand Slam. When they going
never mind.
What?
Forbidden Door is in August this year, so
casual. We're casuals.
Oh man, we just catch the highlights on YouTube.
We just watch the highlights, ladies and gentlemen.
So All In is their next show in July, and then Forbidden Door will be in August, and then All Out will be in Toronto, September.
So Grand Slam is the one they're treating like a pay-per-view, is what the people were telling me all last year when they went to Australia. Grand Slam.
Oh yeah, that's not a pay-per-view; it's TV special.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. TV special.
Well, so they say. Also, I forgot to really put anything out about this, but man, we tried to do the watch along, and then it was just like everything and anything that could happen happened that morning. So we just never got to that either.
Yeah, it's okay. We watched most of the matches. Well, we watched most of the first match we were supposed to watch.
Yeah,
which had Octagon Senior in it, which we'll talk about his son a little later, huh?
Less impressed with the son, but
Okay.
we'll get there. But to start off, obviously Money in the Bank was this past weekend. That's what we've been talking about. They started the show off with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Well, hold up, pal. Are you not going to talk about Worlds Collide? Did you catch the main event? I'm not going to let you just no-show the main event like that. Did you catch it? Chad Gable versus Vikingo?
I meant to.
Oh, come on. What? Come on.
And then I forgot.
Micah, the fans want to hear your opinion on Vikingo's 630 through the table. His other 630 off the apron. And his other 630 that he hit on Chad Gable's back. Come on now. You didn't see all those twisting and tumbles and flips and pirouettes. You didn't see all that, Mike.
I caught Mr. Iguana.
Okay. All right. You got me now. Okay, hey. First, let me just say something about that match, Chad Gable, Vikingo. That was the best match of the weekend. So you did miss out. You did miss out.
I'll go back and check it out. Honestly, I meant to,
Oh,
and literally it has slipped my mind until right then when you said that.
Chad Gable pulled off an awesome bomb from the top rope. I haven't seen an awesome bomb in 20 years, but he pulled off an awesome bomb on Vikingo. And of course, in the match, but still, though, they pulled out all the stops in that match. And yeah, if you didn't see that match, ladies and gentlemen, go back and watch that match. Now, listen to our show first, and then go back and watch that match.
Yeah, finish this, but
Yeah.
I do want to check it out. I also did want to check out the Mr. Iguana match because
He sold
everybody
out
was just like
his heart.
enamored.
Yeah.
Which I have to admit, kicking the little plushie up on his shoulder, that
was
that
cool.
takes some skill.
That was cold. Yeah, and he had a vignette ready for him on Raw. So at least WWE knows that they got to cash in on this sooner than later.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of them guys. Like you could just kind of tell that he makes easy merch. That's why I text you. Was it Monday? I said I think WWE has found their new Santino, and
Yeah.
I mean, sell the little Cobra sleeves because that's what everybody wants.
And apparently, I don't know, man. If you listen to or read Lucha Blog's tweets, he says that Mr. Iguana is kind of a tired act over there in Mexico. So I don't know if he has a staying power, but in the moment, if that was your first time seeing him and you weren't impressed, I don't know, man. You might be watching the wrong product. Because it was very entertaining.
Yeah, you said it was one of the best things on the card, which I was kind of shocked because
They got a big
normally
screen.
we're pretty harsh on the goofy haha characters.
It was funnier than that Ricochet match that you rated
Oh, come
5
on.
stars. I'm just saying.
You're never gonna let me live that one down.
Man, this match tonight, huh?
Well, speaking of things that let us down, the women's Money in the Bank ladder match started off this show, and my first thought was, where are the fans? Did this arena not look like it was filled with 19,000 people until maybe the main event to you?
You know, I wasn't really looking, but I saw the discourse online, the same thing that you're talking about. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't catch that. But there was a show literally 2 hours before that, so maybe people had to go home and shower up. Well, I say shower, it's wrestling fans. Maybe they got caught up in traffic going across town. I don't know.
Well,
All night gas station open. I don't.
Yeah, the typical excuses. Just go back and watch the first 5 minutes of that women's
What?
ladder match.
You want to watch that?
I mean, I don't want you to have to subject yourself to torture, but there was like gaps in the audience of people just not there at all. So it was just kind of odd because they open up the show and then Michael Cole's like, "We've got 17,000 here," and you look and you're like, I can count like 8 people.
Saying the Fed's dead, Micah. Is that what you're saying?
Not yet, but it's headed that way.
Okay.
It's on the operating table. We got to diagnose it first.
All right. All right.
I thought the springboard moonsault by your favorite Roxanne Perez was nice. I thought it looked pretty cool, and for someone of her size, the high flying stuff she does well, which I enjoy. The next thing, I really don't even know how to phrase this.
Go ahead.
The crowd went ballistic for Stephanie Vacquier's.
Oh wow, that's what you wanted to bring up, huh? Is that what you wanted to bring up?
It got like the biggest reaction of the whole match.
Walk us through this. I want to let us close. We're all going to close our eyes and we're going to visualize this. Walk us through it, Micah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so there's a ladder in the corner, but propped up also on under in the middle. Follow me. So it's like straight across, like
yeah.
Steph here grabbed the girl's head. I believe it was Rhea, was it not?
Oh, you know who it was. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so she has her head between her legs, her knees, really, and
Huh.
then she is bouncing up and down on the ladder, and
Were there any sounds
the
that were coming
Booker
from
T wasn't
the commentary
there.
desk? Okay. Pat? Pat subbed in.
Oh, I didn't hear all that, but yeah,
You locked in, huh? Couldn't hear
no,
the
that's not what I said. I just, it was the crowd
What were
went
you doing?
crazy for it. That was all I was remarking on.
So you like objectifying the women over here in the Fed, huh? We don't do that over there in AEW.
Yeah, we only have lesbian makeouts over there in AEW. We don't have girls shaking it.
Yeah, you pedophile.
Yeah.
Quit objectifying the women.
To each their own, right, guys? I mean, come on.
You know what? It did get a great reaction.
It did. And I mean, that's what, like, I'm personally, it feels a little like if somebody walked in, that would probably be
well.
embarrassing. But the in-arena fans, they went crazy. So
Okay. Now, what if Bible study would have walked in on you while you're watching that? What are you doing in that moment? You got your finger on the.
I plead the fifth.
You got your finger on the back button on the remote.
Yeah.
Just in case somebody walk in.
Man, no, my fault, man. I was trying to find the office.
Hey man, the whole match, it was not good, bro. I watched it live. I don't have any notes wrote down for this match. I remember the Alexa Bliss spot where she got dropped right on her ribs. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Vaguely.
Okay, well that looked gnarly. I guess the right person won. It was very predictable. I didn't like the match. It was there. Let's see what Naomi does with it. How do you think this cash in is gonna go, Micah? Do you think she's gonna be the first woman to not successfully cash in? Because they did make a point to say that the women's Money in the Bank has a 100% success rate. So do you think that was a red herring to let us know, hey, she ain't gonna win this? What you think?
I hope not, because if Naomi doesn't win the belt with the Money in the Bank, Triple H will never beat those allegations.
Well,
it will be bad. It will not be good.
What did he say in the press conference after the show? He said, "Hey, did you enjoy the show?" When they were asking him about, Ron Killing's return.
Yeah.
Hey, did you enjoy the show? Well, okay then. So just he'll probably just pull that out when Naomi loses the Money in the Bank.
Just deflect. Nah, I mean, I could see her cashing it in on Tiffany, and then maybe we go to WrestleMania.
You can see
or
Jade.
Something.
Jade costing Naomi the title, and then we build up to a 3-way at SummerSlam with Tiffy, Jade, and Naomi.
I could see that, or either we get like a Jade Naomi feud once Naomi's taken the belt, and that leads into next year's WrestleMania.
I think we got to see how Queen of the Ring shakes out too, because I can see Jade winning that whole thing. Queen of the Ring, I can see that. They have to start cashing in on this investment they made on Jade 2 years ago, and she's as ready as she's ever gonna be. I mean, she's not any worse than, I don't know, Maxine Dupree in there.
Jade, I don't know, man. People they love to hate on her because she jumped ship or whatever. But ultimately to me, I can't say that WWE has 30 women that are smooth workers. I think you've got the upper echelon, and then you have, the Jade Cargills, the who else am I thinking of here? Like the Candice LeRae's, even Chelsea Green, who I'm a big fan of. I don't I don't think of her as like this top tier worker that WWE has. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's a lot of girls that don't particularly stand out from the rest. I mean, they do enough to get by to have a passable wrestling match. And if you got aura and sexual appeal, Micah, let's be real, you can be a star in that women's division. Let's just call a spade a spade.
I mean, the thing is, and I hate to.
They don't even care about promos with the women. They can, bro. They overlook EO's lack of English. They think Stephanie is the next big thing. Those girls can't speak a lick of English and can't cut promos, but they have sex appeal and they have, the it factor, bro. And that's all you need to be a star in the women's division. I mean, tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Like people don't like really saying that out loud or like putting that out there. But you look across the board at both companies, and look at what women are over. And Tony makes sexual references on AEW and has she has HLA just about every week. Not every week, but you get my drift.
Every week, pal. You see the Sasha interaction with her on that last
Yeah.
Dynamite? There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't sugarcoat it. Tell us how it is.
Plus, you got Mina, and then on WWE, you got Rhea and Stephanie, and look, man, the sex appeal applies, and it
always
has. You can't be like, oh no, that's not what it's about anymore. When both companies very much put that like out there, and those are the women that get pushed. So is that kind of a sad state of things? Yeah, because there are people that are great workers out there that maybe don't get it because they don't look a certain way. But I mean,
that's
like
life,
you said, that's what sells. Yeah, 100%.
That's life. Like if you're an attractive man or an attractive woman, you're gonna get more opportunities. That's just how life is.
Yeah. When you said that about if you have sex appeal and aura, it made me think, I don't know if you've seen this. It's got that Will Smith meme where he says, y'all got any good writing? And Triple H, and it just says, we got hype moments.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. Well, I mean, are they telling lies?
No, not at all.
They've been bloodline merchants now. I'm cleaning off my glasses, Micah, and I'm just realizing that they've been bloodline merchants this whole time. This creative is well, we'll talk about it later.
Is the yeet fading off of your glasses?
I don't think he deserves nearly the hate that he got from the IWC, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we're getting there. Next up for the Intercontinental Championship, we got Octagon Jr. versus Dominic Mysterio.
People were mad online that this didn't go longer. Like, what? Why do people want 20-minute long matches with guys they don't know?
Well, here's my thing. I wrote, let me play devil's advocate, because I say this a lot about AEW when they bring in these guys that I've never heard of and a 2-minute package for them, and they expect me to believe that they're going to go 25 minutes with the top guys in AEW. It's kind of the same thing here. I get it.
Well, wait, no, hold up, pal. Did you watch the show earlier on?
No.
You didn't watch the show. Well, they had a hype package from Octagon Jr. there. Come on now. Hold up now. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you just sit here and say, well, who is this jabroni? I've never seen him. Well, pal, the Worlds Collide show had WWE's, no, not WWE's. It had Triple H's highest viewership ever. And if you didn't catch that, and that's on you, pal. Google it.
Oh, yeah, you've moved to the other side of the street now.
Yeah, I am. Don't talk about my luchadors over here. How dare you?
There's no reason that I should meet someone on that day and then be expected to care about their match unless they give me a like, I don't know, man. I'm just not one of those people that can like, oh, let me turn on this match from like 1985 All Japan. Because I'm not introduced to the guy. I need to know the guys. I need to know their story. And so for you to just kind of throw a match on pay-per-view, it's the same way. I feel like I have to be fair to both sides. So if I'm going to complain about it for AEW, I got to say the same thing for WWE.
Okay, but let me jump in here. Did it overstay its welcome? Now I can understand if it was a 25-minute back and forth contest where you didn't care about Octagon and you knew Dom was gonna win. If that would have happened, okay, I can't excuse that. But a 5 minute, just a little showcase match. I didn't have a big problem with that. They
No,
kept
I
it they
agree
kept it
with you
short.
there. That is
Yeah.
the right way to go about it.
But people were complaining online, like, why did this get 10 more minutes? Like, what? Oh no,
Because he's not been introduced. Like, I can't. If
I don't want
Dominic Mysterio is a champion, I don't want to see him face this guy that I've never heard before of in my life
well, you heard of
for
his dad.
25 minutes.
You watched his dad. Come on now, pal.
His dad was better.
I don't know. It might have been on the same. They might have been on par, man. We didn't see enough of them here to judge that. Do you think that Dom is building up to a hair versus mask match? Because he has been sticking his nose in a lot of luchadors' businesses lately. Do you think we get that at Triple Mania? That's coming up.
I could see it. That would be a cool throwback, to the match that we were also trying to watch on the watch along. Funny
Yeah.
enough, from the first Worlds Collide, I could see that. I think I would be more bought in then. Like if they're able to tell a little bit more of a story, I would be interested to see these guys in a longer match. But very much to your point, I don't want to see 15
No.
minutes of two guys or a guy that I've never heard of. Like
No.
unless it's a preliminary match.
And hold up now. I'm not advocating for Octagon getting that match against Dom. I'm just saying if he can maybe I don't know, bro. Is Ray gonna be back by Triple Mania? I wouldn't mind that. Ray versus Dom at Triple Mania. Because that's the WrestleMania of Mexico, the Triple Mania show.
Yeah.
So we can, and supposedly because they ran hype packages all night in that World's Collide show, but apparently, mask versus hair match is like a huge thing over there, and they do it every single year at the Triple Mania show. So I think they're building up for Dom to get his hair shaved off.
I could see it. With him and Ray too. I mean, I know they've ran it back, but I also I think that Dominic has kind of become this era's like Randy Orton in the sense of it kind of feels like they put him against everybody as like a first run or like people in the back must think he's just really safe or whatever, and you can tell that he's obviously like highly thought of because when Punk came back, I think Dom was his first match. There's somebody I want to say, was it Randy? But they kind of always put him in there with either new guys or guys that are returning, and it seems like a lot of the vets want to work with him too. So I think in that aspect, like he's became this kind of
but
just very, very highly thought of person.
yeah, he's like kind of like a new age X-Pac in a way,
Yeah,
where you
but
can't
more
get
of
like if you can't, well, yeah, of course, but if you can't get a decent or a good match out of him, then maybe you don't belong here. But he's it's weird, bro, because a lot of guys grew up big Rey Mysterio fans, so of course they want to face Rey Mysterio's son. And the old timers on the roster, they seen him grow up, bro. He was around when he was 8, 9 years old, all raised to bring him to the shows. So, of course they want to work with the kid that they probably helped watch in the locker room, Well, that's a
yeah.
terrible way to put that. Watching the locker room, that they watch in the backstage area.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think about that either. He's kind of always been around.
Yeah, it's got pictures with everybody.
Yeah. Again, the phrasing.
Oh,
Um,
well,
but moving on,
girth and tonnage. It's right.
we had the women's Intercontinental Championship match next. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, Part 2.
I skipped this. I didn't write this down in my notes. Yeah. You want to walk us through this?
Well, they had some good spots, don't get me wrong. I thought Lyra did a leg drop off the announce table onto Becky where she was like draped over the railing, which was a cool spot. She jumped like over the that little stand they have that holds the title nowadays. She like cleared that. You know,
It was smooth. I mean, nothing looked egregious out there. They
yeah,
got
it
good
wasn't
chemistry.
bad. I just think I prefer the Backlash match.
It wasn't a bad match though.
No, not at all. And I think the only thing, one of the main detriments to this match is at Backlash, I genuinely did not know who was going to win, and I thought like Becky was going to win, and so it was a surprise when Lyra won. To me, when this match got announced, I knew Becky was going to win because there's no way she was fixing to lose twice in this feud. It just didn't make sense. And I don't know. I just, like I said, I felt like Backlash, I was a little more interested because of that. And I felt like some of the in-ring work, maybe, again, that's because it was like Becky's first match back and, or second match back. And I'm kind of still like learning who Lyra is. I think there was just open-ended in that match, whereas this one I kind of knew what I was signing up for.
Now, are you done with this Lyra Becky stuff, or do you want to see them running back one more time? Do you want to see just Bailey and Becky feud in the SummerSlam, and maybe Lyra go into a background character? She acts as Bailey's little buddy, and then she turns heel on Bailey at SummerSlam, and then maybe Lyra aligns herself with Becky. You see that happening?
I wouldn't hate that. I think they could go in that direction. I kind of feel, well, I don't know. Now that you mention that, because I feel like they're going to get a third match because they're both 1-1. But if she loses, which I feel like she will, then it would kind of make sense for her to eventually, fall in and be like, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was and become kind of Becky's lackey. I could see that. And I think that's probably the best route that they could go.
I agree. Maybe Becky goes to Adam Pearce and talks Adam Pearce out of giving Lyra her third match in favor of Bailey getting a title shot, and Lyra not taking too kindly to that, and Lyra maybe blames Bailey for that, and I can see them going in that type of direction.
Yeah, or they do a triple threat between the three of them and say like Lyra's about to win. Bailey screws her out of it, and then that kind of leads them to a similar dark path.
I'm 3-way, 4-way, 5-way, 6-way. I'm done with that. Like,
well,
I hate that. I hate the oversaturation of multi-man matches we have in the wrestling landscape, especially WWE, bro. That's never been the case. But Triple H, he's booking 4-ways for tournaments, bro. Like the entire first round of the King of the Ring bracket is 4-way. That's blasphemous.
It feels lazy.
That's blasphemous, bro. I know you don't want to have your big stars take the pin. Okay, fine, bro. And you can't protect people forever, man. Man, I'm an old school fan, and having 4-ways as the first round of the King of the Ring is just that's blasphemous, man. I can't co-sign that.
Well, one of the things to me that's cool about the tournaments that it really in anything, is you get to see matchups that like otherwise you wouldn't necessarily get to see.
Yeah. So you have stakes to those matches as well.
Yeah, and it's an easy way to set that up for like last year, for example, and I'm not exactly either the biggest fan, but they had that match with Carmelo versus Randy, and I think it was a King of the Ring qualifier.
Yeah, that's a bad example.
Just follow me. That's not normally two guys that you would see in there. So that's the kind of environment that like the King of the Ring tournaments breed is it's like two guys that like maybe there's an up and comer, maybe there's a main eventer, and they actually, cross paths, whereas this might take, a year or 2 or 3 down the line. So I think that aspects of it cool. And then when you look at the slate of the 4 people, it's like there's two that I'm like, maybe they could win. There's one that I'm like, he's probably winning. And there's all one that it's like, yep, he's taking the pin.
Yeah. Yeah. Terrible.
And so, I don't know. I agree with you. Maybe not a triple threat is the best way to go, but I could very well see that's the direction that they do go.
What happened to just having a good old DQ finish? You don't have to beat your heels. You can have a DQ finish. So why
Well,
can't they just book those singles matches and you can have one DQ finish, a count out, maybe have one take a fall. Like, come on now, we can do this. 4-ways is just lazy. King of the
let me
Ring.
ask you this one last hypothetical about this.
Go ahead.
Could we get a Becky Bailey Intercontinental Championship match as the main event of Evolution?
I didn't think about that. That's interesting. No. I don't think it's that big of an attraction. Well, no, actually, it's probably the biggest attraction they can do. No, you know what? The biggest attraction they can do is for the Gooners. You got Rhea and Vaquette. That's probably the big. That's gonna get the most clicks.
That's got the most girth and tonnage behind it.
Well, there you go.
I
can see that though. I can see that.
Outside of Becky Bailey main eventing, I don't know. Like, who is a surefire you would say, like, yeah, that's a main event match that is kind of in the direction that WWE is leaning right now. Like, obviously, you can say Rhea and Bianca, but they're not really like crossing paths.
Well, I'm glad you asked, pal. So if you were watching Monday Night Raw, you would have saw the GOAT, Nikki Bella, come out and Liv Morgan giving her the business, and they were basically setting up a match at Evolution. I'm glad you asked, pal.
Well, I did see that because I thought Liv actually cut a pretty decent promo.
Yeah, oh yeah, she did. Nikki Bella's still wearing a backwards hat at 45 years old, huh?
In 2025 too. Egregious work.
Flat
is that a main event to you though?
She had her gear on. She was ready.
Oh yeah. Ready, willing, and Gable.
Okay. All right. Well, she was the main event of the first Evolution show. Did you know that?
Well, I think she said it in that promo, but
She was, yeah.
Was she still full time at that point?
No, she was not. She was not. She came back pretty much the same way she came back in this promo. And Ronda Rousey was the champ at the time. But Nikki Bella
feels
has
like a bigger
fans.
match than her and Liv Morgan.
Nikki Bella has her fans. I'm not gonna discredit that. Like the Bella Army is. We keep on talking about girth and tonnage, but it has a lot of that in there. I can see maybe a tag match. Maybe they bring back Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, have Liv and Raquel team up.
That actually would be kind of cool.
They the tag champs.
Okay.
We'll
stay on that beat.
Bellas ever hold that? I don't think they did.
I don't think it was around when they were.
Yeah. So there you go.
You must have got all these leaks after your meeting this past week, huh?
Well, I whipped around and went to Tampa, showed up at the Performance Center.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I went to all those places. I did a loop. Evolve, checked it out.
Wait, you said what?
I went to Evolve and checked it out too.
Oh, Evolve. I was like, huh? I thought you said U-Haul. I was like, what'd you get a U-Haul for?
Well, they moved me down there as head writer, Mike.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I said, you know what? Come be Mr. Slam down here in Tampa. Put you on the payroll. But we move on to the men's Money in the Bank match. I won't read off all the participants because I'm assuming everybody knows. First, yes. Second,
yeah,
is the Money in the Bank idea played out? Yeah. Like, Is it a dead concept? Do you think Money in the Bank is dead at this point?
The way Triple H does it, I'm not a fan of it because Triple H books it. He gives it to main event guys, or he gives it to guys to just cash in after one day. I know Vince did that too, but Vince usually he gave it to guys that were gonna take that next step into the main event status. Triple H books guys like Drew McIntyre to win it, which he's over a big name, but a guy that really doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. Same thing with Seth Rollins, doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. It was the obvious choice, and the choice that I didn't want them to do. I really thought the LA Knight needed this as the stepping stone to get to that next level. And I seen what they did on Monday with LA Knight. Sure, okay, fine. He's gonna be in a big program, but at this point, bro, I think LA Knight needs to be in that world title contention and actually finally pull the trigger on that.
Well, let me back you up first.
Okay.
What did LA Knight do on Monday Night Raw? Because I did not catch that.
During the main event fatal four-way match, of course, the King of the Ring fatal four-way match, the men's side, LA Knight stormed the ring, gave Braun Breaker the BFT, and he put I believe he did a little finger thing where he put he had 4 fingers up, or no, he had 3 fingers up, and he pushed one down to 2, so it made it seem like he was gonna go after all the members of Seth's new group, and he got chased away by Bronson Reed, and he hightailed it out the ring. But yeah, he gave Braun Breaker a BFT on the floor. So it looks like he will be feuding with that group, but I got a feeling he's just gonna be fodder for Seth or Bronson Reed. He's not gonna win that feud. And even if he does win that feud, okay, what then?
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna have a match for the briefcase, and it's obviously gonna result in Seth still winning. So what does that really accomplish? Backing up to the match though, this was the funniest thing of the whole weekend, and it's not funny because I feel so bad for the guy. But Andrade was on the floor, and Grande Americano.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he dropped the ladder right on Andrade's cods, And the best part about the whole thing was Pat McAfee was mid-sentence, and he just went, so, oh, like you could hear the pain that he felt through the television screen. That joke, I was crying laughing at that. That was so funny to me.
Were you studying El Grande Americano's nipples like Wade Barrett?
I heard that discourse. I haven't. Maybe we don't have our nose enough to the grindstone like Wade Barrett does.
We gotta watch some more game tape, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's some expert level journalism.
All right, okay. We gotta go watch the footage real quick. All right.
Later on, we had a Mexican destroyer on the ladder that obviously was a nice spot.
Nasty.
The problem is, and this is kind of the blanket statement with what I'm talking about, the Money in the Bank is kind of a played out concept. I feel like we get ladder matches, and maybe it's because it's like both companies, but I feel like we get a couple ladder matches, and you very rarely see anything new. Because, for all intents and purposes, the Mexican Destroyer is a great move to do on a ladder. It looks awful. Like, you could land really bad, But how many times, ultimately, have we seen that? Either in WWE or AEW. And we just had that tag team ladder match right before was it before or after WrestleMania?
It was after. It was the week after SmackDown.
That's right. And I think that's, very easily a match of the year candidate for me.
Yeah.
And then you see this, and it's like, man, there's just two different worlds, and I don't think main event guys are willing enough to do crazy ladder stunts that, really wow the crowd, which is fine because I get it. They don't have to. But I think that ends up making these matches very boring, and you never see anything new. And you always know who's going to win because they wait. Like, nobody ever really climbs up to get it. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just very obvious.
Yeah. I can see your point about, you never really see anything that you haven't seen before. But I push back a little bit. I've never seen a Canadian destroyer on a ladder in WWE because this is still a new thing for WWE. They're letting Penta hit this move weekly, which they never let anybody do. So, I mean, that was a cool thing to see in a WWE ring. But you didn't think that the catapult spot with El Grande Americano when he scaled the ladder and then LA Knight went right up the ladder too? You didn't think that was innovative? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was cool. It was a little botched at the beginning because
Oh my
LA
God.
Knight really didn't have enough to
Yeah.
catapult him.
Ain't
But
have no
once we
space,
got
bro.
there, it was cool. I feel like I've seen that before, like with Shelton Benjamin.
But that was like 15 years ago, bro. No, 20.
Well,
That was 20 years ago.
20. Oh God, now I feel
Yeah.
old.
In the same arena. Well, not the same arena. In the same city, Los
Yeah.
Angeles. I can't compare crypto to the new Clippers arena, which I'm blanking on. Can't compare that.
What is the name of that arena? Because I'm also blanking on it now.
I know they got the wall there. Uh, is it? No, it's not SoFi. I don't. I don't know.
Intuit Dome.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Into it though. I called it crypto Staples. It would always be Staples.
Yeah, well, I do think the Crypt is a cool name if that would ever stick, but it kind of
Yeah.
don't fit the Lakers. You know what I mean?
Let me run it back though with the spot that we were just talking about. LA Knight hit a superplex on the El Grande, and oh my God, if El Grande's head was 2 inches more to the right, he would have broke his neck, man. Did you see that ladder just right there on the canvas, right beside his head?
I did. Yeah, I remember thinking, I was like, boy, there's a margin
Had
for
no room.
error right there.
Yeah, had no room to hit that. Like he was hitting it in a phone booth.
And again, that's the thing too. I want to talk real quick about LA Knight's in-ring ability because man, he gets so much hate online for being like a catchphrase merchant, like Jey Uso. But dude, LA Knight is like legit in the ring, good. Like can give you a 4-star match pretty much any time. I don't know why people just love to discredit him and act like he can't go. And I'm really hoping this Seth Rollins feud at least brings that out of it, and so then people can shut up about that and realize that he is a main event.
Well, Micah doesn't do any flips or any
Oh,
anime poses. Come on now.
yeah, excuse me. He doesn't do the reversal
Where they all
spot.
where they all wait around for the applause.
And then we do our cool pose in the ring and face off. A couple points to hit on right quick. The fireball ladder.
Oh God. Yeah.
Man, the ads.
You knew they were gonna find a way to make the match end on that fireball ladder. You have a
I
problem
don't
with
think
that?
we've really. Well, I'll let you go first.
I was gonna say, do you have a problem with that? The advertisements on the props as far as the table with the Slim Jim logo and ladders with the fireball logo. What are you gonna put the logo? You gonna put some logos on the folding chairs next, Micah?
Probably, if we're being honest. I don't think we've really touched on it a whole lot on the pod.
I hate it.
I'm not a fan. It's one thing, man. The ads in the ring bother some people. That don't bother me. Like I seen it in UFC, WCW used to do that. Whatever. AAA does it. That does not bother me. Ads on the turnbuckles doesn't bother me. Ads on the barricade on the outside. Okay, we're getting a little far, but I can let that slide. But the tables and the ladders and the matches that are this is the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match and this is the Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice match, like
Mood wipes match.
yeah, I mean it's getting a little far-fetched to me with the ad placement on everything, and it's starting to get to the point that like, and that's the world we live in, ultimately. Look at the NBA. They have ads on that would have never happened with probably David Stern. I'm surprised that NFL players don't have it on theirs, their main jerseys. I do think they have it on their practice jerseys. It just, I don't know, man. A lot of people get bent out of shape about the mat ads, and that does not bother me. The real issue is the accessories, the stuff that it then makes it look like a toy.
Yeah, to sell the toys, yeah.
And the biggest offender, I forgot to mention this, I'm sorry. The Cash App logo on the freaking Money in the Bank briefcase.
Hold up now. That was clean though. Come on now. I give him a pass for that. I don't see why they didn't do that years ago. I didn't have a problem with that.
It, like, the concept of it, like, if Money in the Bank, the show, was sponsored by Cash App, sure. But the Money in the Bank briefcase is a prop that, like...
You think that was cold? Come on now.
It's a good idea. I'll give you that. But something about it...
They made that make sense, at least.
Well, I will give you that. That was like a Fireball ladder doesn't make sense, but the Cash App logo on the Money in the Bank that does kind of track.
Yeah,
but I mean, at that point, just go ahead and slap the Fanatics logo on the side of the WWE Championship and just be done. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I'm surprised they didn't have a barcode directly on the Money in the Bank briefcase, so we could just donate straight to TKO.
Yeah. A QR code and here input. What do we get WrestleMania tickets for that? No. You don't get anything.
Oh no. Just donate it straight to us there, pal.
And lastly, other than Seth winning, I feel like the only other match we got to talk about is obviously the Jacob Fatu babyface turn.
Yeah. Thought it was. They went around their elbows to get to their wrist here.
Yeah.
I just felt it a little too convoluted. They didn't need to do all that. It felt way overbooked at the end. And then you had guys just playing dead for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was my big, like, when they were looking for the ladder and trying to get set up and everything, it really, like, kind of gave away that, okay, they got something planned here. And I'm fine with Jacob turning babyface. I think he will knock it out of the park because he's uber talented. But I don't think this was putting your best foot forward. And this is where we start to get into the what is happening with the writing as of late, because I feel like this could be a pretty decent feud. I'm interested to see how the promos go. Because also, I was going to mention this. If I had to give an MVP for this match, I would say Solo, because I thought his character work, his mannerisms, like it feels like he's starting to show some natural charisma. And I'm kind of coming around to Solo.
He didn't do anything in this match. He thought he was the MVP. Danced around a little bit, made mannerisms. Thought that was the MVP.
It was more interesting than most of the other stuff I saw.
I can see why Ricochet is your favorite wrestler over there in AEW. You're all for the theatrics, pal. That's what you're all for. What about the real graps, Micah? El Grande was working his off in this match. LA Knight almost grabbing the brass ring, and you give the MVP of the match to Solo Sikoa that played dead for half the match, that walked around and did Penta's pose. That was the MVP.
Hey, what did El Grande Americano and LA Knight leave? Nothing. What did Jacob leave with, or not Jacob, Solo leave with? A shot at the U.S. Championship.
Did he though?
And we're getting there.
Okay. All right.
Enjoy the ride that The Rock's taking you on.
Okay. That the scoop is taking you on, huh?
Yeah, the scoop's taking you on a ride, brother. And you're gonna enjoy it. I don't know. I just also the like I hate you Solo thing felt really corny, and
It had aura. It had hype moments.
Yeah, we got aura and hype moments. Y'all gotta get it good. Any good writing?
I ain't got it. But why? Okay, let's break it down a little better. Let's unpack it, Mike. So Seth had his goons come out to try to. The goons came out. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, Braun Security. They came
the word
out.
Goon has been killed for me. Now, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, the Seth Riders came out.
There we go.
Laid waste to everybody. The whole entire ringside area was just bodies laying upon the wreckage. And
Let
Seth
the bodies
had
hit the floor. Sorry.
no, that didn't play. So Seth was climbing up the ladder, and then all of a sudden, you hear Jacob Fatu's music, and he's coming out there with JC Mateo. But the thing of it is, after the brawl ensued with the Seth Riders and JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu helped Solo to the top of the ladder to win the match. Then he yells to Solo, does the turn like you were just saying, I hate you, Solo. Crowd, was hyped up. They went bananas. But my thing, Micah, the whole thing that made no sense to me was why didn't Jacob just let the Seth Riders win? Why did he have to come out there to turn on Solo? Because Seth was about to win anyway.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
Why did you even come out there? Just let him lose.
Well, yeah, he should just let him lose and then beat him up after.
But it's not even like, another person won instead of Seth. No, Seth won anyways. So what was the point?
Yeah.
Way too overbooked. That's why I said, why did they go around the wrists to scratch their elbows, bro? Or however that saying goes. I don't understand. How did that make any sense? I mean, it was a cool moment, but it just didn't make any sense.
Well, and that compiled with the fact that I think one of the main reasons that Jacob has gotten over is because he does feel very real. Like you kind of compare him to like the Marshawn Lynch of the WWE. And when he was doing the I Love You Solo thing, he was still kind of unknown. He was still kind of like this, caged animal waiting to be unleashed. But now I feel like we've gotten to know Jacob, and he's known for just being kind of a real character. So like the grabbing his leg and I hate you Solo, like it felt very fake from a guy that typically comes across very genuine.
Yeah, it did feel a little cartoony. The crowd was, it was a great moment, but yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Still though, it took way
an aura.
It took way too long, bro. Way too long.
Well, lastly, Seth wins. We kind of already hit on this stuff. Or should I wait? Should I really wait to give you my full opinion on that after the Jay match?
Yeah. We'll hit it at the end. We'll circle back around.
So that brings us to the main event of the night, which was John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Well, it's a nightmare from hell, ain't it?
Why did Cody challenge John to a tag match? Why didn't he just challenge him to a rematch for the title?
Well, because he was offending his brother Jey Uso.
But he had to do it in a tag match. Couldn't he just beat him up right there and say that was for Jay?
This is for you.
Why did he get a title match?
I didn't catch their promos on SmackDown, but I heard that they were bad.
There was just they weren't as good as the first one that they could, together. Because I remember Cody just kind of talking to Cena while he walked away for like 3 weeks. But yeah, pretty much that. Maybe a little better than that.
Man, I feel so bad because every time we get on here, and every time John Cena comes up, I've just got something negative to say. But oh my God, man, I don't even think washed is the term anymore. Can we just say he's eroded?
Oh, is he 2012 Hulk Hogan out there? Is that what you're calling?
Oh my God, I don't know that it's that bad, but it's teetering.
Okay.
I think we're getting to the point, like, ultimately Cena cannot separate Hollywood versus WWE.
I think we only have like 17 dates left. So we're not going to get much more of Cena. I mean, they may book him for a couple more dates, but they've been making it a thing on TV. But yeah, this whole match, Micah, it was just so basic. The only part that stood out, and I know people hate this guy, and it gets a little weird online with the hate that they have for this guy, but Logan Paul, bro, give that man some credit because he did 2 things that I have never seen done ever, at least in WWE, because I watch mostly WWE. But the drone thing, where he got the drone to fly over to him while he grabbed it and filmed himself getting superplexed and filmed himself being splashed. That was crazy, man. That was a great visual, and that was probably spot of the night, man. But that moonsault onto the table, did you see that?
I did.
Man, so little room for it, and he pulled it off, picture perfect. And he's probably gonna get hate online. You had the smart asses online that post the Hangman gif when he slipped on the buckshot lariat. You know what? Okay, fine, it happens. He recovered. He caught his footing. But Logan Paul, bro, you can't say that he didn't phone this in. Maybe the rest of the guys phoned it in, but he made sure to go out of his way to give the crowd something to hang their hat on.
Yeah, again, man, I get it from a personal standpoint, but that's not what we're here to talk about. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, we're not here to talk politics and how people are outside of wrestling. Trust me, people are gonna harp on that with the Punk Saudi stuff. Like, I really don't care, because when you boil it down, and I don't mean this personally to any wrestler that ever hears, but like, most wrestlers are known pieces of crap or carnies or hypocrites. Like, it's just a fact. Even if that's not the new generation, it's definitely been the old generation. And if you like some of the old generation wrestlers, like, they were probably not good people. Yeah. But I say all that to say this. If he's captivating in the ring, then I really don't care. And people are like, he's really not even that good. Okay.
Stop.
All right.
Stop.
We're just lying. Especially when you go and say that Carmelo Hayes is so talented and he needs to push. Because I hate to say this, because I hate to compare the two, but there is nothing that Carmelo Hayes can do that Logan Paul can't.
Oh, he practices his matches, Micah. Like, the whole roster doesn't do that. Who calls in the ring anymore?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, people love to say that crap, but I don't know.
Bro, the whole roster calls their. The whole roster plans out their matches. They practice their match. The whole roster does that now. It's not the old school. It's ain't the 80s where they call it in the ring. They don't do that.
Yeah. I will say one thing. I have only ever seen one other person do that moonsault to the announce table, and that was the in-ring GOAT, Shawn Michaels himself.
You seen
So,
him? Wait, did you see him land it though? He landed it.
well, I mean, I remember him doing it to Taker at WrestleMania 26.
Oh dang! Well, no, he did it from the ring post. Ring post.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
point. Still,
Now he
though,
did.
rarefied air from both of those guys.
Now he did try to hit it. He being Sean, he did try to hit it on Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24. The little springboard moonsault to the table, but Ric Flair moved out the way.
That's right. Okay.
But still, though, I mean,
Yeah, I
like
mean, the
I said,
fact that we're comparing Logan to, or not comparing, but a move that you've never seen anybody do except for Shawn Michaels, we're
yeah,
already kind of, holy
and
crap.
it's one of those things like you know how you talk to an old head, and they'll say, "Oh man, MJ, he was just so graceful when he jumped." Bro, Logan, I know we probably glazing Logan a little too much, but still, man, the how he moves when he does the acrobatic stuff, it's just different than everybody else. It seems like he's more explosive with it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I meant to bring this up earlier, but I feel like this episode is probably going to be the IWC's worst nightmare because I'm going to basically disagree with everything I have to say. And I really, for everything that the IWC gives, they take away. And that really transitions, like, we were talking about the Logan hate constantly, or, the people want to say that about the women's wrestlers and all that. And then you got HLA on AEW. Oh, but we don't objectify, but that's okay on television. Okay. But moving on, R-Truth returned in this match as Ron Killings and
Yeah.
Ryan. I know we didn't really get to break that down because, hiatuses and such, but how do you feel about the release, the return? Was it a work? And obviously, we'll get to his promo a little later.
Man, when the release happened, I was surprised, but I think I was even more surprised about the championing that they did for this man online. Like the uproar. Not just with the fans, because the fans will, they're gonna say, "Oh my God, can you believe they released Valhalla? She could have been world champ." The fans always do that for somebody that gets released. Okay, that's okay. But the people that work with him, the just oh man, this is such a bad move. Gonna miss our truth. Just the people that came out to defend our truth, that showed me something that he was a great locker room guy and probably a guy you should have kept around. But at the end of the day, Micah, this is a business, and he is a guy that hasn't been used for the most part over the last 3-4 years. He got dusted off of the Judgment Day stuff, mostly comedy, and then he went to the back burner after that Miz partnership that he had a couple years ago. And then he resurfaced with the mini John Cena feud. But still, though, bro, he's been up. He's like the DeAndre Jordan. He's still kicking around the NBA. He maybe get in for 5 or 6 minutes, get you a couple boards. A nice guy to have in the bench to keep spirits high. But in the day, if you release DeAndre Jordan, your team's going to keep on going. Your team's going to have the same success they had without DeAndre. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I didn't see it as a problem at the time. I am surprised that they brought him back. But I am very intrigued of how they brought him back and very intrigued on what it seems like the direction they're gonna be going in with the new Ron Killings.
Yeah, I thought, which I guess we can go ahead and discuss the promo on Raw because it really ties into the whole thing. I thought that it's gonna be weird because it's first off, it's weird to see him in like kind of not a comedy role, but
Yeah.
also he is 53,
Yeah.
and or Ron's in-ring work has never really been in his WWE run. You know, the back half of has never really been like the cornerstone of him. You know what I mean? So I'm interested to see how they make this work and tell the story in ring. Because I think the mic work, he could be great. Because he cut a great promo on Raw. But
Yeah.
where does that lead in the future? And is he a heel or a baby? Like, I don't know. He's kind of riding the line to me.
It felt real though. Like this is what the Cena turn should have been. Because I mean, Truth is changing up his look day one. He cut a real promo that you actually believe, and I assume he's gonna get different gear and different music. This feels like a new chapter of R-Truth. Meanwhile, you look over there to the state of John Cena in 2025, and he looks like John Cena from 2012, but just less jacked and more pale, and not really captivating you with his heel work. Like, does it seem like R-Truth is doing what Cena should have did?
I think R-Truth's doing what Cena did better.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. What is it gonna look like in the ring though? Because he
Yeah.
doesn't do all the stuff. R-Truth did used to do some innovative stuff when he was K-Quick and when he was the Truth, Ron Killings, and TNA. He used to do a lot of innovative stuff, a lot of cool stuff. I've never seen one of his matches that I want to go back to and watch from beginning to end. I mean, the Capital Punishment match he had with Cena was cool, but that was in 2011. That was 14 years ago. He had a match where he tagged with Miz against Rock and Cena. That was good, but again, that had Rock and Cena, and that was 14 years ago. So, what is a 53-year-old Ron Killings going to look like in the ring? Is he going to look any better than Cena?
That's not a high bar to jump over. I don't know. I mean, and
Yeah.
see, the thing is kind of with the comedy stuff he was doing with the Judgment Day, he was mainly a tag. But
Were
this
people
kind of, it
go
feels
ahead?
like it has to be a solo role.
Were people clamoring for a serious Ron Killings? I think people just wanted the funny guy back. Are
Yeah.
we sure? Are we sure this is what the fans want? I think this. I know that for sure. This is what he wanted.
Well, I don't know because I would think they would want the comedy character because that's what they've known. But at the same time, now you've kind of got this guy that you're rooting for because you want to see him do something different. So, like, I mean, he got a great reaction on Raw. I'm
He
interested
did.
to see who they
Ap-
pair him with first because that really matters.
Apparently, he was rejecting a lot of calls from WWE in the week leading up to Money in the Bank, and Nick Khan had to make a personal call and get the deal done. Do you have a problem with that? Them getting Nick Khan on the phone and Triple H not having to say?
Uh, I don't think he overstepped his bounds or anything. I mean,
Does it seem like they're setting up for Triple H to be the fall guy here? I think he has
yeah.
maybe 1 year left in creative. Though. Like I think they're about to get him up out of here.
Who do they replace him with, though?
Probably Rock's goon, Brian Gewortz.
That ain't gonna be good.
He wrote a lot of the mid 2000s Raw. He wrote a lot of the comedy stuff. A lot of the people online like You like Ricochet? You should love Brian Gewortz.
Oh, come on. Yeah. You always go back to Ricochet
I'm
jab.
just saying. I don't know, man. This is It feels like Triple H is on his way out. He didn't seem like he was too happy about the R-Truth question when people were asking him about it during the media scrum.
Which does not help the allegations.
Well, do you have a problem with them bringing Truth back as Ron Killings?
No, not at all. I think I I actually think it's cool that we're getting to see a different chapter of him, and hopefully this is like a thing he's wanted for a long time as like his final run. You know what I mean? That it's something that he's actually getting to live out, like a dream, or a vision that he's had for his character, and they weren't going to go with it because they didn't feel like they had the time on a 53-year-old, and now they've seen the reaction that he gets, and he's kind of proven people wrong, you know, still even at 53. So I don't know. I think he could be a very sympathetic baby face, and I don't think we see a world title or anything, but I could see a IC or US title run depending on how over serious he gets.
So, do you don't see you don't see a world title run in his future? I mean, he is 53 years old. You think it's maybe a little too much to put a title on him?
I want to say this. If Jey Uso gets all that hate for having the world title and everybody celebrates the fact that R-Truth does, conversations have got to be had about the wishy-washiness of that.
Let me ask you one thing. Would you be in favor of Ron Killings taking that title off John Cena? Would you be in favor of that?
No, I don't think I would.
You wouldn't be in favor of that. Even if he's as over as he is right now, you still wouldn't want Ron Killings to take the title off Cena?
I think he would have to be more over than he is right now.
It would be a big moment. No, he's over right now, Ron Killings is.
He is, but can you say that he's on the same level of like Cody or a Punk?
At this moment, yeah. Yeah, I can. I can. Bro, the fan backlash and the clicks and the views that his return got and his first promo got, he's on par with those guys at this moment. He's as over as those guys. He even got remember when CM Punk went away? We got the "We Want Punk" or CM Punk chants for random live shows. Man, R-Truth got those chants. And they were tepid at some points, but still, he got those chants. He's over right now. I don't think it'd be necessarily a bad thing if he took the title off Cena. I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at all. I would be in more. Look, let me tell you. You know what? I would be more. I would be more satisfied if Truth took the title off Cena than if Cody took the title off Cena.
That's crazy.
But bro, Cody can go in a different direction. He doesn't need to beat Cena. Maybe he can beat Cena without the title. Last match, he can get his win back his last match. Why does Cody have to take the title back from Cena?
I just think story-wise that makes more sense.
Does it? I mean, they're look like they're painting the picture that Cena got R-Truth fired. So wouldn't it make more sense that the guy that got Ron Killings fired is the guy that comes back and takes Cena's title away from Cena? And they got the built-in story, bro. Cena was his childhood hero, quote unquote. They could tell a very captivating story, and we could right the wrongs that happened 14 years ago when R-Truth was robbed at Capital Punishment from Little Jimmy throwing that cup in his face. You remember that? And then he lost his mind.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Well, let me tell you something. I was hurt as a 13-year-old young man. R-Truth had the match won, and he wanted to go out to the fans and take get a little water break. So he took a cup from this kid, which he called in the moment Little Jimmy. And then Little Jimmy pours the cup on R-Truth, distracts him, gets that soda in his eyes, man, or I don't know, man, maybe alcohol in there. And then the R-Truth walks in the ring, gets an attitude adjustment from John Cena. The heel takes advantage of R-Truth blind. And so you know what? Ron Killing should take that title from Cena. Payback from 14 years ago. I ain't forgot. Truth should smoke a cig next week.
Now that I would be in favor of.
Okay, well, take the title off him too.
I'd have to see it. I think with good writing, it could be done, but all we got is hype moments and aura. So I don't. I'd
Okay.
have to see the 2023 WWE. Yeah, I think they could have made that work. 2025, like the current state. I don't. I'd have to see it. But overall, tying back to the main event of Money in the Bank, I thought the match was fine. It was, like you said, a little boring. I mean, just nothing crazy happened outside of those two spots with Logan. But it wasn't offensive. I don't think Cena was at his most egregious. I'm sick of him anyways, but there's been worse, you know. So Ryan, let me ask real quick, and then we got a little Raw review to get to. Um, Money in the Bank, your rating out of 10, what would you give it?
10. Man, it's low. Uh, Give it like a 3. It wasn't. I mean, it was a show that happened. Very predictable. There was a surprise ending that a lot of people online enjoyed. I enjoyed as well. But I don't think there's any matches on this card that I'm going to go back and watch. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
man,
think
3 sounds fair.
yeah, I think I also have to go with a 3, which I must say this was your same rating for Double or Nothing.
Well, there you go.
It's crazy because I would very much say that Double or Nothing was better than this.
Um,
Um,
mm. I ain't going back and watch the Ricochet match, bro. I don't care.
it's going to be slim pickings here, but what would you say was the best match of the night?
Well, you got Vikingo and Chad Gable.
Oh, was that? Well, I mainly meant of Money in the Bank, but
Okay. Well,
or are you
that was
just
that night.
deflecting?
Well, that was that night. Well, there you go. You said the best match of the night. That happened that night.
You know, I guess you got me there. I don't even really know that there's like
We
a
had.
surefire
Should we change match of the night for WWE shows to hype moment of the night?
hype moment or most aura of the night.
Rate the aura out of 10, Mike.
Yeah, there we go. What was the aura of Money in the Bank this past weekend? How did it make you feel? I will say I do like the new like design of the Money in the Bank with the like robbery type comic stuff that they do. I think that's
Yeah,
a cool like aesthetic, you know, and it's different than the like 8 million ladders, you know, to
with the
do.
Cash App logo. Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
oh God, don't remind me. Um Honestly, I guess I would say the men's Money in the Bank, but I don't even know that it was that good. So
You can
you
have
know
my
what?
match if you want to. You can just say you watched that Kingo match.
Yeah, you know, we're just gonna add it on to the list, and I'll go back and watch it, and
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it. You know, but
that's gonna. We'll go back and watch that because I think that'd be match of the year contender.
dang. Okay, well, I tell you what, we'll talk about it next week. We'll just hit on it
Okay.
real quick early in the
All
show.
right.
I'll watch
All right.
it. You know, we'll move.
All right.
Um, that brings us to Raw, though, from this past week. Just real quick, a couple things. Obviously, my favorite talking point out of this is the Cena and Punk promo that started off the show. Before we
Is it?
get to Punk's, oh well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, did we hop in a time machine back to 2011, talking about R-Truth, now Cena, CM Punk? Are we
Hey,
back in June of 2011, Mike?
I don't hate this timeline that we're on.
Okay.
Not right now, because I thought this was actually some of the best solo Cena stuff that he's done. It felt less hokey, more genuine. It wasn't. It was still. It was still about the fans. But then once
Yeah.
Punk got out there, his focus shifted, and that was really what tied it all together for me. Because I knew Punk was going to be, but I needed Cena to be serious, and obviously Punk comes out to the great pop, all that good stuff. My favorite part about this, and normally I'm not a big fan of the nostalgia bait, but there was tons of callbacks here.
Yeah.
Obviously, the opening line, that I hope you're as comfortable as you can be.
Yeah.
Talking about the way the title changes you, the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox reference, which I think the title changing you aspect of it is very
He's spitting.
it's that, and it's a big focal point of kind of Punk's year. Obviously the Seth stuff, but now we're getting into this. He had these Cody stuff. Remember at the beginning of the year, he said the same thing. The title is changing you, Cody, and you don't realize it. And I thought that was one of the best promos of the entire year from both guys. So I think that's interesting to see this story told here, especially then Punk's like, I really don't even want the title, but I must become a monster to beat the monsters of the world, which is a callback to some promos he's done in AEW and Honor. But
It's crazy though. Let me cut in real quick, Micah. It's crazy though because if we just talking about 2011 WWE, Cena was trying to save trying to save WWE from CM Punk, from leaving with the WWE title, and now CM Punk is trying to save WWE from John Cena leaving the company with the WWE title. So it's just it's weird how it's flip flop like that, and it just works. But go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry I had to jump in.
No, you're good. I mean, that's a good point, and I think that's another reason we've never seen heel Cena versus babyface Punk. It was always kind of like face Cena, but people don't like him versus tweener or like guy that should be a heel, but we like him because it's Chicago Punk.
Yeah.
But Cena then throws out the challenge. Okay, you want the title shot so bad. We'll do it at Night of Champions, Saudi Arabia. And I want to point out the line. Cena said specifically, the ball is in your court now. Is it crazy for me to think that the Saudi show is a storyline purpose?
Yeah, man. That is a perfect way to tie it in, though. But of course, you got the people online that aren't doing that.
Look, again, we talked about it with the Logan stuff. I'm not here to talk about people's beliefs or politics. I think we can all readily agree Saudi Arabia is not a great place, especially if you're a woman.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, it's a wrestling show. It's business. I get he said the things that he did, but that was years ago.
Back it up, man. The fan base over there, they didn't have anything to do with that. Mostly, I'm sure the people over there, mostly good. Maybe the royal family over there, that's a different story. But he's going over there to perform for the people. He's not going over there to tap dance for the prince,
Yeah.
So let's back it up. And bro, this is a business. He told us, he being Punk, told us in the first promo, he's here to make money. He's not here to make friends. Get over it. Guys you never met online are hypocrites. Yeah, man, it happens. Get over it. Go touch some grass. It's gonna be okay. He's there. He's gonna make a lot of money. He's gonna make more money than he's made probably since he's come back to WWE. And he's gonna have the match that everybody wanted to see in front of a fan base that's gonna be hyped up to see that match. Get over it, bro. I know it's in Saudi, but come on now. Don't watch the show then. And I'm one of those fans now that says don't watch the show if you don't like it. Don't watch the show if you don't like it.
No, but the vitriol for some things has just gotten a little absurd. Listen, I'm not a fan, like I said, of Saudi Arabia. My biggest complaint about this is I wish it was in the States solely because the fans like me and
Yeah.
you, that grew up
Yeah.
with that then.
Yeah, I get it.
But like you said, there's a fan base over there in Saudi Arabia that in theory are decent people. Is it not the same way in America? And I'm not trying to get in on beliefs. If you like Trump or if you don't like Trump, that's none of my concern. But, I think we can all pretty much agree that everybody or most people in our government are pieces of garbage, just like the Saudi government. You know what I mean? So I think that is a good point. It's really about the fans there, not the government, because our government is also pieces of garbage, just
Yeah.
like there. They may not be beheading people in the streets, but things are happening in the world. Just turn on your news channel. But again, that's not what we're here to talk about. The main thing is I think that they're telling the story, even if it's a wink, wink, nod, nod way about Punk going to Saudi. I think there's a purpose. And Cena even posted the thing with like the Miz wrestling at the Saudi show. So like obviously they're aware of, and Punk apologized to them. So like call him a hypocrite, whatever. People grow as people and change, and so be it, man.
And people grow a lot more when you slide across a briefcase full of $100 bills,
Well, that too. And one more thing I would like to say on air so that everybody knows the way I feel about it. Yes, Punk is going to Saudi Arabia, but the Hangman Adam Page and the Young Bucks fans that want to circle around and do their little prance like they did whenever he got fired, I'm pretty sure, Ryan, you can back me up on this, I guess. The Young Bucks and Hangman are still friends with Marty Skrull, who didn't he have sexual relations with an underage woman?
Well, Micah, that was in the UK, so the age of statutory rape is a little older.
Hey, UK, don't make it okay. Still rape. Secondly, they're still friends with Chasen Rance, who I'm pretty sure has the same allegations. So,
well, Micah, Booker T booked his school to go to Chasen Rance's school, and they trained at a seminar together.
Doesn't make that okay. So, let's see. What I would plan or take the blue pill and be friends with child molesters, or take the red pill and go wrestle in Saudi Arabia. What's your choice?
Are you asking me personally?
No, I'm just putting that out there, man.
I'm getting paid.
I'm just putting that out there.
I'm going to make money, brother. I'll put that robe on. I'll go over there.
You'll put the little full body suit that the women have to wear.
I'm over there. Yeah, just give me a call, Hunter. I'll be there.
But ultimately, the promo itself, I thought it was very good, and
it was.
We
still got a lot of meat on it.
Yeah, that.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say that, along with the fact that it kind of strings that this is the last time.
I think they said it in the promo or afterwards the last time, but I'm sure maybe we'll have one more match. I want the whole load though, man. I'm just tired of getting a little taste of it. They got more story to tell here, and I hope Cena can play ball, man. Please, CM Punk, snap him out of it. We need Cena to lock in for this. This is the feud that we all want, that we all deserve, and CM Punk is still sharp as ever on the mic. Cena, I know it's in there somewhere. Find it. Get it out. We need to give us 2 or 3 weeks of 2011 Cena when he was doing the promos, going back and forth with The Rock. We need that Cena back for this. Please. Can it be done, Micah? Can we be saved?
I will say this, and I said it a couple weeks ago. I think the only thing that I've enjoyed from John this year has been that short 5 minutes in Elimination Chamber with Punk.
Okay. That's the only thing, huh?
I think there is such a thing as it's gonna sound a little, I don't really know any other way to phrase it, but sometimes there's just two guys that are meant to wrestle. They're meant to be rivals in wrestling history. Sean and Brett as another example of just every time they were together, it was magic. And it's the same way with Punk and Cena. And I'm really hoping that at Night of Champions, he can dial back the clock and we can get just a great one final chapter of this feud that we never thought we would see again either, because Punk wasn't ever supposed to come back.
Well, Micah, what about Orton and Cena? They had some classic matches throughout their whole careers.
Hey, you liked that last match. I didn't.
I did like that match, but I think they will. And well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm hoping they will, but let's be honest here, bro. We do hype moments and aura over here, so we'll get the stare down. We'll be on the edge of our seats for that, and then we'll get lulled to sleep by the state of John Cena.
Well, we can hope. But speaking of hope, and that there is none, the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship was Jey Uso versus Gunther. And I guess we can touch on, well, I guess we can hit on this real quick.
Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot of notes for the match. I don't think the match was bad, but it's not anything that I haven't seen before because this is like the fourth or fifth time we've seen these guys in the ring.
I think it is 5. Yeah, I think it is 5. It was very surprising.
It was because I don't know, man. Again, for everything that the IWC gives, they have to take away. They got R-Truth his job back. And at the same time, all in the same 2.5 hour show, they have hated Jey Uso from the moment that he won the Royal Rumble. And I have to admit, I wasn't a fan of him winning the Rumble. I wasn't a fan of him facing Gunther again. But at WrestleMania, I knew what was happening, and I've been fine with it since. I didn't love the finish of the match, but whatever, man. Jey is over. He's selling the merch. He's getting the crowd reactions. Everybody online was basically having a daggum victory parade that Gunther took the title off of him. And I'm prepared to say this. Jey Uso had just as good of a reign in 3 months, not even, than Gunther had all year.
Ooh. All right. It's crazy though. You come full circle, Michael, because I remember when you crashed out when Jey Uso won that Royal Rumble. And now here you are, hat in hand, ready to admit you're wrong. That takes a big man right there.
Hey, someone called me a hypocrite online for going back on my word.
Well, I mean, we can admit when we're wrong. We're men over here on the Scoop Slam podcast.
Yeah. I just don't get it. Like, and this ties into what I wanted to say about the Money in the Bank, too. I got why Seth won the briefcase if Jey was going to be champion. But that now makes that so backwards booking. Because now you have 2 heel world champions and a heel Money in the Bank briefcase holder. So if you knew you were going to swap the belts on Monday from Jey to Gunther, why did you not give LA Knight the briefcase?
Yeah. Literally.
You know what I mean? Like it makes no sense.
No. I was thinking that we were going to get a cash in during that main event match because I was like, well, surely they can't beat Jay this soon. And I was thinking, well, surely they can't let Gunther lose again to Jay. But Gunther made Jay submit. He made him pass out and no Seth anywhere in sight, which was weird. So I don't know, man. I don't know where you go from here. Seth and Gunther and Jay.
And I get it. Like the people that love the in ring love Gunther. I think he was my wrestler of the year for 2023.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's great.
But I've seen it, man. He just had the belt. He's always had a belt. Like again, it's time to start indicting Triple H on his lack of ability to write some people.
Yeah.
And Gunther's one of those because without a belt, they don't know what to do with.
Let me pause real quick. I saw this floated around online. Do you think we're building up to the Sami Zayn King of the Ring win going on to SummerSlam to beat Gunther only for Seth Rollins to cash in on Sami Zayn right there? And then we get the year-long run. Sami has to fight the obstacles, like the Daniel Bryan type 2014 run where he got cashed in on at SummerSlam and then he eventually found his way to the main event of WrestleMania next year. Do you think we're getting that with Sami and Gunther at SummerSlam? Can you see that happening?
I could see that, but I don't trust Triple H doing it.
Oh man, he's still that far, huh? He's good at long-term stuff, right?
He is, but I just don't feel like that's the plan in motion. You know what I mean? Like I have no faith that is. I don't think that is too good of an idea for them to this year because they have not done anything good this year.
I don't know. I can see it happening. Sami is usually, mega over in those Saudi Arabia shows. So it would be a big moment if you win King of the Ring and he somehow finds his way. I don't know, maybe get screwed over at the Rumble. No, maybe he wins the Rumble. I don't know. Because they are in Saudi for the Rumble. So maybe that's leading up to another big one at the Rumble. But Sami beating Gunther wouldn't be unbelievable because we just seen Sami beat Gunther WrestleMania 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I can't see a heel versus heel SummerSlam main event.
Yeah, I don't know. It just really. But okay, if they have that long-term thing in plan, I guess that would make sense of why Seth got the briefcase and everything. But did we have to necessarily get the belt off Jay now? Like he didn't even have 2 months. I'm not clamoring for Jay to have this year run. I know we've had the discussion here on the pod that like we do need shorter runs. But I think it's fair to say Jay has had the best title reign coming out of WrestleMania, and he has gotten now the shortest reign coming out of WrestleMania.
Well, you don't think we needed a surprise world title switch on a Raw or on a SmackDown? We haven't had one since Big E won the title back in 2021, Mike. And then, what was that, 2021, 2022? I think it was 2022. Well, anyways, it's been a while. It's been a long time. And before that, it was even longer. So I think that title should switch hands on Raw and SmackDown, even the world titles. I like that. If the plan is Sami to beat Gunther at SummerSlam, okay, that's fine. But if that's not the plan, then I will be very disappointed. And I don't know, maybe I'll make the call to get Brian Gewirtz up in here because, yeah, man. Triple H lost his touch if that isn't the plan there. And even then, I don't think I'll get hyped for Seth versus Sami. I don't know. Would you?
Again, if the story is there, I could see it.
We've seen it though. I like matches that we haven't seen before. I've seen Seth and Sami so a bunch of times.
Yeah. Well, that is another thing about Jay and Gunther, man. I've seen it before. So like I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think Jay has gotten overhated because of his match with Jimmy at WrestleMania. Because other than that, is he your stellar worker? Like, is he as good as Seth Rollins or Gunther in the ring? No.
No.
But people are clamoring for freaking Karrion Kross to get a push. And you cannot tell me that Karrion Kross is better in the ring than Jey Uso.
Well, actually, Micah, we want Ilya Dragunov to win the King of the Ring and then him to face Gunther at SummerSlam.
Hey, no, let me ask you something before we get out of here. Who do you early prediction? King of the Ring. Who wins the King of the Ring men's? Who's facing Gunther at SummerSlam?
Does it have to be Gunther or could it be John too?
No, we can go John. We can go John.
I really need to look at who all's in it before I make my I surefire lock somebody in.
No, we need a lock in right here, right now. I don't need you to go look at the tapes. I don't need you to go watch the highlights. I need you a prediction right here, right now. You think
we don't know the
Cody?
I don't know.
Give me a prediction.
Well, I'm going to assume that return or the unannounced person is not Goldberg. Because if it is Goldberg, then I'd probably say him.
Goldberg returning in the Fatal 4-Way match?
I could see it.
You can see that? That's crazy, bro.
I don't think it's going to happen, but, you know, hype moment and or.
Nah, bro. I ain't letting that happen. I can't. Not again. I get the flashbacks of the Fiend getting squashed by Goldberg, bro. I can't let it happen again.
I feel like it's going to be Sammy, ultimately. I don't think Cody needs it.
I talked you into it, huh?
I think you have. I don't think Cody needs it to get back to the belt. They're already telling that story.
Yeah.
And I don't see out of the... It really depends on who that mystery opponent is. But like out of the four with that, what is it? Bronson Reed, Sheamus. Who was that?
LA Knight's in there.
I don't see him going for it either. Which they do have two heels, but
we done gave up on LA Knight again.
No, I feel like he'll win, and then he'll face Sammy and probably lose, which will be weird because it's babyface versus babyface. Everybody wants Carmelo to win, though. Let me play spoiler. Probably not going to happen.
He ain't winning that.
So, yeah, I'm going to say Sammy. My second pick would be Cody, and then my third pick would probably be the mystery opponent.
Wow.
So, Virgo David is going to be the mystery opponent.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, man. We got enough horror and hype moments for this episode, man.
I think we do. I think we've clocked in at just enough. I think the only thing we're missing is ad placement and our travel blogs. And other than that, we can get out of here because we have went long, unlike WWE. But as always, thank you guys for listening. We kind of went around our elbow to get to our wrist on this episode just because it has been a while since we've been in the saddle. But we appreciate all you guys. Make sure you're checking out the socials. Link is in the description. The exclusive content on TikTok mainly, that's where I upload stuff. And then if it can carry over to Instagram and YouTube, I do that. Well, tell your friends about us. Tell your family about us. Have a good weekend. Take care of yourself. Have a good one.